Watercooler, Watercooler, Watercooler.
Oh, we're always early. Thank you so much. This is the Watercooler. Woo! The show where I, Chris
Bunch of 13-year-olds recording.
Where I, Chris Laxamana, hang out with my cruel digital friends. Welcome back to the show. And for those who are newly tuning in, welcome to the show. Let me introduce everybody who's on. With me today, Gary Smith's here.
What's up, what's up?
What's up? Matt Fondiler in the house.
Hey, brother.
Hey, brother. Mike Dawson's here.
Howdy.
Yeah, howdy. How are you guys doing?
Hanging in there.
Good.
Oh, good, good. Yeah, I missed you guys. I just got back from Dallas. Had a nice,
Had some barbecue.
yeah, had some barbecue.
Shit.
Shot
your
on
pants?
the gram.
Did not shit my pants. All right, Caelan's here too.
Hey, what's going on?
There he is.
Caelan's in the booth. He's afraid of me, and I don't blame him.
I am.
I just got back from a trip. Caelan's very nervous about.
It's weird that Caelan's wearing a mask in the booth when there's no one else in the building.
It's fine. He's using a microphone that other people use.
I honestly don't. The mask doesn't bother me at all.
Yeah.
I don't know why people have such
No, I don't
a thing
underst-
about it. It really.
I don't understand why people
not
have
a problem.
I don't understand why people have a problem with the mask, but after getting one of those, like the cloth, like neck gaiter things, that's so much better, Caelan. You really got to step it up.
Well, like I said to Chris last week, this is the one that doctors use. So if it's good enough for them, it's good enough for me.
Which
It's a
I
high
thought
standard
was
Caelan sets
Yeah.
for himself. He does that a lot when we're like eating lunch and stuff too. He goes, "It's good enough for a doctor. It's good enough for me."
That's his argument for fried chicken all the time.
All the time.
All the time.
Yeah, Caelan's been worried about me traveling and then coming back into work, which is totally fine. But I can't help but take it personally that he doesn't want to interact with me. And I know it's there's
I can interact from a distance. It's okay.
yeah, but I said hi to you and you barely said anything.
I
to
said
me.
hi.
Yeah, we were very short about
I
it.
was short about it.
Yeah, no eye contact.
I
Either.
need to say quickly. I thought your breath might travel if I didn't get it out quickly enough.
I know. It's been a weird rapport between us, and I thought we'd hash it out.
You come
here.
down one end, I come down the other, and we got to do a bit of a.
Yeah, we
let's,
cross paths, and you kind of stop a little bit, and you just do one of those like those little head things, and I go, hey, and that's it. Usually there's a little bit more. What'd you do this weekend? What's going on? But Caelan doesn't want to have anything to do with me.
What are those head things called?
The little sup head things.
Yeah, what's that called?
When you shake your head.
Shake. Yeah, that's what I was getting at.
Now, you bring up an interesting point. We talk a lot about the speed of light, the speed of sound. Nobody talks about the speed of breath. How long do you have before the breath of the other person has passed you?
Great question.
You know, we should be
Nobody
putting
knows.
studies into
I'm
this.
so worried.
I do know. At least I think I know. But the reason being is when people vape around me, when I inhale it, that was just in their lungs.
Right.
Right? So it's just lingering, it travels, and it's bizarre. Like people in my neighborhood would vape from their second story window, and I'd be walking by the house and I would just get a whiff of it.
Is Chris fucking arguing about secondhand vape right now?
It sounds like it.
I'm not
really
arguing.
fucking
No,
happening
Show's
on this
taking a
show?
weird turn. Caelan decided that he's scared of Chris because Chris probably has Rona, and now all of a sudden vape people are in the target.
I'm not targeting anybody. I'm saying what I'm saying is that stuff that I just inhaled was in someone else's lungs.
Yeah.
And that's bizarre to me how much that traveled.
You never smell somebody's fart?
Oh, too hot.
Got news for you, pal. Wasn't in their lungs.
I hope nobody's farts are in there or originate in their lungs. That's a terrible path to travel. Either way, I'm just kidding, Caelan, and I hope you're. Caelan kind of gave me a heads up. I'm gonna need all the bios for this week. Might have a baby coming. How soon?
That's, I guess, half of Halloween.
That's what Chris does on this show.
Yeah, I don't.
That was reduced to the smallest
I'm
form,
not.
but that's
I'm not a
fine.
paraphraser at all.
Caelan's been saying for weeks that he thought that there may be a baby coming during the dark week, but your girlfriend's due date is still several weeks off,
like
right?
4 weeks away, yeah.
Yeah.
But I got a text from her today saying she's feeling ready to go. So it could be coming very soon. The whole time she's thought the baby's going to come early. And I think she kind of has a feeling about it, and I trust her because she was right about the last one. So I'm pretty much expecting any day now.
She's 1 for 1. But to Caelan,
That's 1,000%.
1,000, yes. Okay, so I just don't know how often when women have a feeling, oh yeah, this baby's coming, that they're right.
How often are women's feelings right?
No, they're always right. but how often when they think, oh, it's
So
coming.
we have a tech talk.
Gary, answer us. We do have a tech talk. I have a letter that was written to me, and this guy Aaron asked me to share it with you guys.
This guy what?
His name is Aaron. Sorry. He asked me to share it with all of you, so I shall read it. And if you want to email us, you can email us at watercoolerpodcast69@gmail.com. Aaron writes, "Hey Chris, will you please pass this message to the guys? And Gary, I can't DM him on Twitter. What's up with that?"
I think you can DM me. I don't think I have to follow people for them to be able to DM me, right?
I don't know.
I don't either.
I don't DM on Twitter. I don't know why. Gary, I have a tech talk for you. Please explain to us how Patreon works. I have no problem subscribing and supporting the show. In fact, I'd be happy to. The reason I haven't is because I only listen to podcasts on my iTunes podcast app. If I subscribe on Patreon, do I have to listen on Patreon? I'm subscribed to about 15 podcasts and listen to all of them religiously in order. If I want to go to another website to find a podcast, I'll miss it every time. Unfortunately, it's the reason I don't listen to Take a Knee. Oh, I faithfully listen to every other... This is why you read ahead, Caelan. I faithfully listen. I faithfully listen to every other Corolla podcast, but can't get that one on my feed. So unfortunately, I don't listen. Confession: I used to listen to Watercooler and thought of it as a nuisance. I needed to fill in and fill
Been
it.
said 1,000 times.
I needed it to fill it in until another Corolla podcast was released. Now I look forward to it and can't wait for the next show. It's one of my favorites. Keep up the good work. So
Nice.
yeah, so I guess I was a
So woof,
I'm still not sure how we're a nuisance if we filled a void for him.
woof,
he
woof.
he went into this show thinking we'd be a nuisance.
Oh, I see. But we defied his expectations.
yeah, here we are.
We surpassed
gentlemen.
them.
Yes.
Gary, what are we supposed to do with this? How do we listen to Patreon if we listen on iTunes?
Well, he said iTunes podcast app, but I think what he means is Apple podcast app because
Oh.
iTunes is defunct now. But
Very true.
first of all, start listening on a better app because the Apple podcast app is absolutely the worst in the game.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
But I'm just saying what he said, people.
To answer the broader question, and it's a very good question, so thank you, Aaron. I appreciate that. To answer the broader question, yes, you can listen to the Patreon version of this show in your terrible Apple Podcast app. When you subscribe to Patreon, any tier, you will get an email that will give you a link to an RSS feed that is specific to the Patreon show. And it's very simple. You can Google how to do this, but there's a few buttons you click within Apple Podcasts, and you just click add a podcast. You enter that URL that Patreon provides you, and then it will show up in your feed. It will be like a second Watercooler show. They have the same logo, but you'll have Watercooler, which is what you're listening to right now because this is a free Monday show, and then you'll have Watercooler-Patreon, and all the Wednesday shows will come out in that feed. And this is true of any podcast app you listen to. I listen on Overcast. I think that's a great app. There's a million out there. Everyone can listen in whatever version they want, although not Apple Podcasts because it's awful. But whatever podcast app you listen to, you can add that RSS feed to that app, and you will be able to listen in the normal fashion.
All right.
Perfect.
Now time for the joke.
Oh,
Just say absolutely.
nuisance, more like old sense.
Yes, that is
Yes,
true.
it's an opposite.
I should mention that Aaron also his handle is @LikePilot, and he ends it with "Thanks guys, love you."
Oh, thanks,
Very
Aaron.
sweet. Thank you, Aaron.
And for those who may have forgotten the URL for Patreon, to get that RSS feed, patreon.com/watercooler.
So nice.
did you
Also,
get that?
I keep bringing Aaron into this, but he keeps writing more. He wants to know about some new music with Loxy and Dawson too. For me, I just finished. I was working on a song this morning, weirdly enough, so I should have something out pretty soon. Dawson, how's your record coming?
It's coming. It's almost done. We should be mixing in a couple weeks. Got a few more guitar solos to record. Doing a session tomorrow night.
Ooh.
But it's getting there. Should be definitely done by the end of the summer.
All right, and yeah, so new music coming out very soon. Look at that.
Congrats, guys.
I've heard some of the unmixed stuff, quote unquote, from Dawson's record. Killer.
I'm looking forward to it.
Harmonies.
What do we call the end of summer? Living where we live, it's hard to define.
Like instead of the season?
I would say August, September.
August, September.
End of August, bebeginning of September.
Oh, I see.
Like Labor Day? Is that
What do
what
we
we're
classify?
Yeah.
I thought you were asking if there's a
essentially,
new
yeah.
name
Labor
we could
Day?
give
Yeah.
the season.
No, sorry. I meant like where do we put the cutoff? Because
There we go.
where we live, it gets hotter in September and sometimes
Yeah.
October.
That's
Right.
very true.
Yeah.
That's essentially when school starts, really.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, most people,
Even
I
though we're not
believe, say that it's Labor Day.
All right.
That's supposed to be when you're not allowed to wear white anymore. Therefore, at the end of the summer. I think we all know that.
Wow.
Duh. I'll write a couple of other.
Jesus.
You've never heard that before?
Yeah, I've heard it before.
You just would never state it on a podcast.
Not with that much stank on it. Jesus Christ.
couple.
Best food. All of a sudden, he's king of the jungle.
Oh yeah, I can't wait for the shade today. A couple other things to get to. First off, we mentioned that when we were talking about raccoons versus opossums. Mm-hmm. We call them rodents. They're marsupials, you guys.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
They're marsupials.
Okay, so I want to change my answer. I want kangaroos going through my trash. That would be my preferred marsupial.
Very true. Yeah. And let's see. We got a flick in today. I weirdly had gator versus ear mask for face mask preference because I have both.
Yeah, so do I.
And yeah, the gator's nice. The gator is the one where it's a stretchy thing where you roll it, you wear it around your neck and you kind of pull it up, and then when you're driving or when you're eating, you pull it, you just hang it around your neck, so you're always wearing it. Whereas the one with the ear cutouts,
The gator's not a good look when it's not up covering your face, in my opinion.
That's what I'm wondering. Like, I don't know if I would like something wrapped around my neck all the time.
It's very loose around you. It's not wrapped around your neck so much. It's looser than this T-shirt is.
It's a necklace.
Yeah, it's. I wouldn't walk around. I don't walk around the house with it, but it's very.
the 15-minute jaunt.
Yeah, it's so much more breathable. At least the one that I got than any of the masks.
Interesting.
And it's not tugging on your ear, which is really nice.
Kaylin, if this makes you feel any better, because now for the next 2 to 3 weeks, I will be vying for your affection as much as possible.
Okay.
Because I need to win you back.
Sure.
In Dallas, it was a completely different scene than when we went to Houston last month. Whereas Houston, Nashville even, it just felt like nothing. Everything was just back to normal. It's kind of crazy.
I think I saw a video of people in Nashville recently, like the bar scene. You said when everyone is outside and no one's wearing a mask and it's just completely filled in the streets.
Wild. It's wild. But in Dallas, dead zone. Everything was closed. You have to wear a mask to enter anywhere.
Wow.
Yeah. And so it was just so much different. And it was butt-ass hot. I remember we got there a little earlier than the show, so I went to go get lunch. And August took the car because he was going to run errands, so I just was going to walk somewhere. And I found a deli that was about 0.4 miles away because I go on Yelp and I just sort by distance because I don't want to walk too far.
And you thought, I'm in Texas. I need to go to a Jewish deli?
I did, only because it was the highest rated thing. Otherwise, everything else was like 2 or 3, wherever we were. We were like in a weird business district where nothing was open.
Not 2.
Yeah, you don't go to 2.
go to 2.
You don't go to 2. Yeah. 3 maybe if you know the place, if you like the people.
3.5's kind of my
3.5
cutoff.
is, yeah.
3.5's
that's pretty
a cutoff?
safe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Some 3.5s are really 4s.
Yeah.
But some 3s are really 2s.
Wow, Shea Fondiler, a little Shea Fondiler tip even before he starts the segment. And I remember walking, and I walked uphill all the way. I didn't realize the whole walk was uphill. It's so hot. I'm now drenched in sweat because obviously it's so hot. And the place is closed because COVID. Everything's closed. And I had no idea. Oh, well, there's another place, another 0.2 miles farther, and I could walk there. And I go, that place is closed. And I just keep going deeper and deeper and deeper.
They don't even do like just pick up curbside?
Some places do, but some places are just weirdly just closed. Yeah, but I did find a taco spot, and it was a 4-star on Yelp. It was a 4-star in real life.
Did
Very
you,
good.
when you were eating that taco, did you say to yourself, just not as good as bacon? Wish this was bacon? Because as you know, taco got
did.
eliminated on our Patreon episode.
Yeah, that hurt.
You shouldn't have even been allowed to eat a taco.
Right. You should only be allowed to
Given
eat
that
bacon
it is
'cause
your
you cast the
vote,
vote.
that eliminated taco.
I've said
point.
this before because a category or a food gets eliminated does not mean I hate the food. I love the food.
Oh, I
That's
get it.
exactly what it means.
Taco hater.
You guys suck. But and we drove and August drove over. He would purposely take the wrong way just to drive over Dealey Plaza because our hotel was right there where JFK was assassinated, and just to drive over. And he looks at me every time and went, "This is the most historic place in the United States of America." Every time we
I
drove
can
by,
just so easily picture Mike August saying that.
I mean, it is weird. I've seen it before, but it's always just like crazy. Like
Yeah.
that is the grassy knoll. There's the bookstore.
Did you take a selfie at the grassy knoll?
I did not.
You
no.
said you were going to.
Did I?
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, I
It
was like, I
seems
don't
like a
remember
really
making,
weird thing to do.
making such a promise.
Yeah.
If you've never been there, it's a lot smaller than you imagine.
Yeah, it's just
It's a lot smaller.
if you're not paying attention, you can miss it.
Yeah.
Which is it's crazy. They have two little X's on the street too. And it's true that it's just open and you can just drive over them. And there's so many bird and lime scooters and they're just scootering over it. It's weird.
Weird.
Very.
How was
very
that barbecue
odd.
place?
Yeah, we went to Pecan Lodge, which is what Dallas is known for, like their barbecue place it's known for. The place Matt suggested we go to this place called Terry Black's, which is like the new hot place.
Yeah.
That opened a block away. So, but August read an article on Pecan Lodge and was adamant that we go there.
And how was it?
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
I've had it before. It's the best barbecue that I personally
Oh,
had.
cool.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it's so good. Have you been?
No.
Oh, well, I've never had like Franklin's.
I was gonna say that's my pinnacle. So I
Yeah.
didn't.
We went to Franklin's is in Austin, Texas, and I've only been to Austin with Adam one time, and it was for South by Southwest. We were only there for a couple of hours. So while Adam was napping before the show, August and I walked over to Franklin's. We even had Kimmel call him, letting him know that we were going to be there. And we get there. The lines are it's already kind of early afternoon. The line is still 4 blocks long. And we get to the front, and Franklin's just up there like, yeah, we ran out. We're sorry. And we just watch everybody with their trays of meat just walking by us. And yeah, they had nothing for us. August is still complains about that to this day. But I hear Franklin is king.
Made me stop eating brisket.
Really, just nothing will ever be the same.
I'll eat brisket in Texas, but I swore off California brisket. Just
Yeah,
doesn't work.
you can't do it here?
It just doesn't work.
Challenge accepted. All right, before we get into some Shea Fondiler and a flickin', I was on Wikipedia and I went on a deep dive.
Oh God.
I'm going to get another beer. Anyone want anything?
Yeah, I'm gonna need one.
What?
They're prepping for your deep dive into Wikipedia.
It's not really deep, but I
They
just
don't
thought
e- they
this
don't
is
even-
interesting.
Is this
I
a
know what
horror
the
movie that
subtitle
you
is.
read?
I
Is this
think-
another movie you read?
No, but Dracula. Caelan.
Soon.
Oh, God.
Dracula. Oh, is that Flickin'?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Then we'll talk about it because I did read the wiki for the 3 episodes of Dracula. All right, but I was at home and I saw one of those little silverfish bugs. You know those?
Oh Jesus.
You know the ones, Caelan. The silverfish. It has that like. It literally looks just like a fish that
Okay.
with legs and has that little. It looks like a stinger, but they really don't sting. It's like a pincher bug almost.
Okay.
You know what they are, right, Dawson?
Not really.
Caelan,
Yes.
go.
Yes, I know what they are.
Okay. Well, now I have to tell you guys have seen them a million times. Anyway, and they're a very common household pest or bug.
Are
And
they pincher bugs?
no, they don't. They don't pinch you though. They don't. I
But
don't
are they is that what you're talking about? Pincher bugs.
Yes, that's what he's talking about.
Okay. Well, then I know what those are.
No, it's not.
Okay.
It kind of looks like it though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you've seen them.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. They're fast and they're hard to crush.
They're hard to crush. Yeah, and they only hang out like
Very
in
resilient.
dark places.
Yeah.
Yeah, very resilient.
Yeah.
Well, Caelan, I was reading about them, and I have to tell you guys
How did you start reading about them?
Because I thought, well, at first I was like, do these hurt me? Can they do these? Will these
He's going to hurt my foot.
like, are these really going to be a problem? And so I read about them, and then I found out how they reproduce, and I thought it was interesting. So I'm
here we
gonna share
go.
This for you. And this is just from the Wikipedia, but I found it very 50 Shades.
Can we put some like porno music under here while you describe this?
Sure.
What fucking porno are
Soft,
you
soft.
watching?
Oh, yeah. The ones where they love each other.
You don't. Yeah, that's the only porn I watch.
Definitely never seen that.
The only porn I watch are romantic dramas, Matt, because it's all about love. How dare you?
Go ahead. Please tell us. How did the bugs mate?
At this point in the porno, they're still showing the house.
It's about yes. It's all about romance.
Callback.
My favorite sex scenes are the ones that are just implied in PG-13 movies.
Wow. This is a sad world you live in.
Anyway, before silverfish reproduce, they carry out a ritual involving 3 phases, which may last over half an hour.
It's called foreplay.
In the first phase, the male and female stand face to face, their quivering antennae touching. Then repeatedly back off and return to this position. In the second phase, the male runs away and the female chases him. In the third phase, the male and female stand side by side and head to tail, with the male vibrating his tail against the female.
Can I just say I'm so glad you got to this on Monday, because I would be devastated if people were paying for this.
This is interesting.
This is maybe too hot for
Yeah.
iTunes. We might get an
We might get
explicit
explicit.
rating on
They're
this
very
episode.
possible.
I don't know.
No, it's beautiful, with the male vibrating his tail against the female.
Please stop saying vibrating.
Finally, the male lays a spermatophore.
Slow that one down. Slow that one down.
Spermatophore.
Spermatophore.
I'm reading this in real time. This is why you read ahead, Caleb. A sperm capsule.
Topher Grace. I love that guy.
It's his new role. Spermatophore Grace.
Is Silverfish.
Yeah,
Silverfish.
that Silverfish show. It's a sperm capsule covered in gossamer.
Oh, Ryan Gossamer. I love that guy. He's in this too. Spermatophore Grace.
Ryan Gossamer.
It's joined by Ryan Gosling.
Now this sounds like a real porno with all that. I would watch that.
Just repeating what you're saying,
Yeah.
buddy.
This is how silverfish mate. Spermatophore Grace is a sperm capsule covered in Ryan Gossamer. Which the female takes into her body
How does she take it into
via
her
her
body?
via her ovipositor,
Man. All right.
ovipositor to fertilize her eggs. The female lays groups of fewer than 60 eggs at once, deposited in small crevices. The eggs are oval-shaped, whitish, and take about between 2 weeks and 2 months to hatch. A silverfish usually lays fewer than 100 eggs in her lifetime, and that is how silverfish reproduce.
Wow.
That was exciting.
Dawson,
That was exciting.
why is that so?
I actually expected that the woman was gonna bite the man's head off at the end, though.
Yeah, there were some third act problems for sure.
There wasn't enough murder.
I don't know what kind of porno you guys watch. This is beautiful stuff,
That was beautiful.
and Pixel Fine has a lot of material.
Oh, God. I didn't even think of that.
All right. Oh, and also, Caelan, are you watching sports? Are you watching basketball, baseball?
I watched a little bit of basketball, but not too much.
You haven't been bringing up basketball to me. We walked by. Usually last season, Caelan. Oh, man, you see LeBron, you see Giannis.
Yeah, well, we'll get into that once the season really starts. Then
right.
hopefully we'll start talking again.
I was thinking, though, because they're in that bubble. And by the way, Lou Williams.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I want to hear him do a Shea Fondiler.
Yeah, Lou Williams, Dawson. He left the bubble for a family emergency at a funeral and was spotted at a strip club. And when asked, why were you at a strip club when you should be in the bubble? His favorite food's there. They serve his favorite food and he had to get it.
Wings?
Yeah.
Probably breasts.
That was a setup and a payoff.
But yeah, very, very odd. But anyway, I'm watching the bubble life, and I am all in. I love bubble life. There should be movies, reality TV shows, everything in the bubble. I want to see they're decorating each other's doors. It's like a
like dorm
camp
room.
for millionaires.
Yeah, the games themselves aren't quite as good without a crowd, though.
They're not.
No.
Yeah, I guess
They're
the
just
crowd
not
really
trying as
doesn't have
hard?
touch.
They're
throw it in
trying,
again.
but it's like when something really awesome happens, you kind of miss it, or it takes a second to realize. Like, there was a player on Milwaukee that got dunked on like so hard by a member of the Spurs, and he fell down and hit his head, and he was just down for the count. It was like one of the most gruesome dunks I've ever seen.
And people should have been cheering.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It would have been crazy, but I kind of watched it. I kind of didn't even notice at first.
Yeah, we went from a sitcom with a laugh track and an audience to a single camera.
Sure.
where you just don't see the reactions.
There
and
is
they
this
kinda don't
like
guide you.
courtside panning camera that's pretty sweet though. It makes you feel like you're sitting courtside.
Cool.
I love that. But I was also thinking, Caelan, wouldn't you watch this a cornhole tournament with all these players? Because they're always playing cornhole. Every time I see Bubble Life, there's always a couple players playing cornhole.
Yeah, maybe.
You don't care about that? I thought you were watching pro cornhole with me. See, this is what I'm talking about. I see Caelan, whatever.
I told you I watched it once when I was in the hospital.
Yeah, and you loved it. You said we really bonded over that. And now
Yeah.
you just toss it away.
While I was eating all those burritos that Gary gave me.
Very good.
Okay, Gary gave you
Yeah, he gave me all those burritos that I ate.
from Nick's.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I gave you chicken.
And then you ate it.
What the hell is Chris looking at me like he went to Nick's?
I know I didn't go Nick's.
Hey,
all
can
right.
I ask a sports-related question?
Of course,
Please.
I have a World Series bet. My dad and I go in on it every
That's
year.
right.
You guys know that. I don't know if I brought it up on the air, but you guys
Correct.
You bring it up on the air. Yeah.
If there is no World Series,
There's a World Series.
let's just say that all those recent COVID flare-ups that they've been talking about, they had their emergency meeting or whatever. Let's just say between now and then, unfortunately, baseball season ends up not happening. Do I just lose my bet? Is that
No.
it?
You'll get your money back.
Do I have to go to Vegas to get it?
No.
Can I go to Vegas to get it? Is there a way I can get my dad to pay for a trip to Vegas is what I'm asking.
Vegas is open. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thanks, guys.
All right. See, we got you. All right, let's get into some Shea Fondiler, and then we'll do some flicking the bean to finish it off on a very high note, because Caelan's flickings are always tops.
You don't have any more portions of Wikipedia printed out?
That was just a weird one. Silverfish, it's a 3-phase thing they do, and it's very hot and heavy.
I mean, personally, we cast the movie of next summer, so I'm glad it happened.
See? Yeah, Ryan Gossamer and Spermatophore Grace.
Spermatophore Grace.
All right, let's get into some Shea. Here we go.
Oh, no!
What type of foods might we hear of today? What might be the price? What might be the venue? So let's find out. It's time for Gary to say, hey, Matt.
What's on the menu?
Well,
Nice, Gary.
thank you very, very much. We are continuing the Practically Starving Semicircle, and I don't know if people on the regular feed know, there's a theme song for this particular segment that was submitted to us on the last Patreon show.
Oh, yeah.
So before I get into the next round, I feel like we should hear that song too.
Sure, I think it's this one. Nope, it's not that one.
That's not it.
I don't have that one loaded. This is why we need a pre-production meeting.
Wow. Well, some super fan out there made an intro track to the Practically Starving Semicircle, and I appreciate it. So until Chris can pull it up, we can move on to the main event. Dawson, you're
ready.
gonna wake up for this one.
Fired up about this.
This one is. Oh, you got it? There we go.
Well, it's the practically starving semicircle contest. Try to decide which food stuff is the very best. From hot spoon food to tacos, every food gets judged. But it don't matter much, 'cause Chuck Nibbles already won.
Ow,
Very nice.
Use code WOOF
Thank
WOOF.
you again for that.
that was Kevin Garrett.
Thank you, Kevin. As if this segment wasn't long enough. I
Also-
now have ways to delay it even longer.
Also from Patreon, Asher Ellswick commented, how has Gary not jumped on the fact that it would be semi-sphere, not circle? Not quite sure how that applies, but
Interesting.
it made me think.
You are the tech genius. You're the Donatello of this group.
Donatello?
Yeah.
Who's Donatello?
Ninja Turtle.
Donatello.
Donatello. Whatever. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
All right.
It's also a famous painter.
This is round 3 of the Great 8.
Greedy.
There's 4 rounds because that's what 8 divided by 2 is.
Math checks out.
Yeah.
Math checks out.
This one is one I've been anticipating for quite a long time. I definitely know the answer right off the bat, but I'm going to let you guys duke it out. Barbecue ribs
Oh, God.
versus wings.
For the record, this is the one that I announced was a layup 2 weeks ago or
Sure.
something.
Okay.
And-
now, for me, it's absolutely barbecue ribs. And I know that because today, this very day that we're recording, it was offered to me. We're doing wings for lunch. And I just thought,
Wish
not,
they were
not for
ribs.
me today. But if it was ribs, I would have been like, fuck yeah, I'm doing ribs for lunch.
We don't do enough rib runs.
No one does rib runs.
Yeah.
All we eat is wings here, guys. Let's eat more ribs. All right. There's other parts of the animal to destroy and devour.
Now, to be clear, does this eliminate a smoked rib? Because that would come from a barbecue place, but it's not cooked on a barbecue.
Oh,
I'm so confused now. What?
So you know how you can make ribs in a smoker?
Yeah.
That's
I
how
think
a
that
lot-
counts as barbecue.
Yeah.
Probably
When I
counts.
say barbecue, I mean it like in the California term, which is barbecue, smoker, griller, all that stuff. Yes, the ribs are what we're talking about.
Okay.
cooked outdoors.
Cooked outdoor cooked ribs.
Outdoor ribs.
Yes, that's true. It does not need to be cooked specifically on a grill. It could be cooked in a smoker. That would be acceptable.
I think so, because like when we go to Franklin's barbecue,
Sure.
they're smoked.
Yes, that would
Right.
count. And
Now-
similarly, you want to smoke your wings? If that will help win that argument, go ahead, smoke your wings too. I don't really care.
But now let's talk about the variety of ribs. You have the spare rib, you have the pork rib, you have the beef rib,
Baby back rib.
baby back. What do you like?
I love baby back ribs. I also am a big fan of the burnt ends, which a lot of people think is weird, but you can get that at a restaurant too, where they just carve off those sort of caramelized edges.
What monsters think those are weird?
Yeah, that's delicious.
People who probably would choose wings over barbecue ribs,
Those
that's for
people
sure.
are
yeah,
assholes.
that's
Burn
fine.
ends are awesome.
How about you, Gary? What do you like?
As far as ribs go, I
Yeah.
would say I'm probably baby back is in the lead there. I tend to just go traditional baby back, although I am a big fan of the mustard based sauces on my ribs.
That's going to be my next question. Also, is yeah, I want to know
Any
what
sauce
kind of ribs you guys like, but also the sauces, the variety of sauces, or even
Yeah.
of sauce at all. If you want to do the dry rub,
Sure.
it's there's so much variety in barbecue, and we all love barbecue sauce. I mean, A1 is already in the finals.
Yeah.
We love our A1.
Made it immediately to the finals.
Let's be clear, that's not barbecue sauce, but delicious in its own right.
It's true.
Yeah, but Das, what? How do you
Your
like your
votes for
barbecue?
ribs, though, Gary? We didn't really get to the bottom of it.
I have not made my vote yet.
He's
I
not
go for a
casting.
rub.
You like the dry rub?
I like
Dry
the
rub.
dry rubs.
Oh.
In fact, Aussie's seasoning is what I put on my ribs. It's
Nice.
good stuff. Very,
Yeah,
very good
that's in it.
stuff.
It's very aromatic. Whenever I see Ozzy, he'd give me 2 Ziploc bags, the really thin Ziploc bags, and just go, chicken, give me another one, beef, and I'd put it in my car, and
It would
my
immediately
car
rip.
would smell like those spices for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he seasons my car, as well as my meat. But. So Gary, what were the ribs you like?
I'm more traditional. I like to go with baby back, but when it comes to ribs, there's a big rainbow out there, and I want to taste all of it.
So ribs over wings from Gary.
No,
No,
I didn't say that.
The
You guys are
man is
asking me
just
questions
trying
about
to
ribs.
describe what he likes.
Oh, I thought he was implying the
No.
rainbow. You don't compare a food to a rainbow and not choose it.
It is actually shaped like a rainbow. Now that I think about it, individual rib, it has that arc.
I'm saying when it comes to ribs, there's a lot out there. There's not much of it I don't like, but I would put a baby back above a beef rib just purely based on the fact that it's easier to eat and more delicious. You know, you get one of those big Fred Flintstone beef ribs, you're oftentimes fighting really hard to not leave some on the bone, which I don't like.
Beef
I
rib-
like a fall off the bone.
Clean bone.
Yeah, absolutely. Houston's, which is a restaurant I think we've talked about before that we all liked, used to have on their menu knife and fork ribs because they were so tender. You should take a knife and fork. Oh, it comes right off. Ooh, delicious.
Damn.
I like that.
Sounds good.
Yeah. So, but
But you're voting for
Wings.
compare.
Why?
Oh yeah, it's a layup. Wings are absolutely. I mean, there's just. I don't even think this is an argument because
I
wings.
did not see this going this way.
I did not see that. So why
I'm
am I
very
crazy?
surprised right now.
Listen, for me, wings are. They're your 5-tool player. You know, they can do everything and they're delicious and.
What's
you know,
a 5-tool player?
That's a baseball thing. I don't know.
What is the lower basement? Ribs or wings?
The lower, you mean where I think ribs because you can. I mean,
You can really F
you
up
can
ribs.
really screw up ribs.
'Cause I've had some bad wings before too.
I've had some bad wings.
But highest ceiling?
I think the highest ceiling is probably ribs. I mean, as discussed.
That should say a lot.
Maybe.
Doesn't sound like Rib should have won that one.
Okay, so wings for Gary. Dawson, how say you?
This is tough. This is one of those going to be one of those life-changing votes.
Make it count.
There's no looking back after this. Nothing like a good slab of ribs,
A good slab.
cooked well.
Yeah.
Wings.
Yeah. See?
Really?
I feel like I'm
I
surrounded.
did not see this going this way.
surrounded
and
by.
It makes me so
All right. Well,
happy.
I know Kaelan likes rib or wings, so
Well, we haven't gone to him yet. We don't
right.
know. We don't
if
know.
Kaelan says ribs, then I'm just gonna rip this whole fucking thing.
I
up.
will. Well, I haven't picked either. And we're obviously talking about buffalo wings, which is
or
It
chicken
doesn't
wings.
say that.
Chicken wings.
Just as wings.
okay. Well,
It
just
doesn't say
wings.
that. And by the way, everyone from Buffalo right now is yelling at you that that's not what they're called.
They're just called wings.
They're called wings.
But everybody who's not in Buffalo would call it. You still can't call them buffalo wings.
Not if they don't have buffalo sauce on them.
Yeah, I love buffaloes. That's my favorite kind of wing. So I will assume that we're talking about.
Also, we all know buffaloes don't actually have wings, so by its very nature, it is a lie.
The Domino's
You're eating
commercial
a lie.
in the '90s would beg to differ.
Well, you should avoid the Noid.
I love wings. Kaelan and I get wings all the time.
Yes.
And Kaelan, I was there when Kaelan had the best wing he's ever had. I was standing next to him. I think, we get wings all the time, but I'm going to pick barbecue ribs because of the higher ceiling. A great rib, there's nothing like it.
Yeah.
Nothing like it.
I
So
agree.
it's tied, and it's all up to Kaelan.
Oh boy.
What would he possibly
This is the
pick?
guy who's literally ordered wings 5, like Monday through Friday, and then on the following Monday says, "Do you guys want wings for lunch?"
Matt, how good are you feeling right now?
Terrible.
Team Rib. Are we
is
not
not looking good,
We're not in
man.
a good spot.
Real fast, Kaelan, what was the last thing you ate?
That would be some buffalo wings.
Yeah, those are the wings I did not want today.
Kaelan, whenever it's Kaelan's choice to pick, you guys want lunch, and by lunch I mean wings. You guys want
Yeah.
wings?
Every now and then he switches it up and gets fried chicken.
Wings are consumed so much at this building that today there was a discussion of which
wing
wing
place?
place. It wasn't wings or sandwich. It was wings or wings. What do you want today? Very much like our game, no or no. It was very similar to that.
Kaelan, is there any way to convince you to not choose wings?
Well,
guess
I
is the
will
real
say
question.
this. It's obvious now at this point that buffalo wings are my favorite food.
There we go.
But I don't care for any other type of wing. Barbecue wings, don't care for them. Lemon pepper wings, don't
So
care
they
for
have to have the buffalo sauce.
It is only the buffalo sauce that I like.
Do you
I love a
use the
spicy
blue-
barbecue
do you use
wing.
blue
Crazy.
I don't care
cheese
for it. I'm not
over
saying
the
it's bad. I
ranch?
just don't care for
I've
it.
seen you eat Golden Heat.
That is an exception. You're right. Golden Heat.
Sounds like 2 flavors.
Well, then buffalo isn't
It's
the
I don't know
only-
what flavor.
Buffalo
I don't
adjacent.
think anybody knows what flavor Golden Heat
Golden
is.
Heat is buffalo adjacent.
I guess. And barbecue, especially like you said, the ceiling is so high on that. Only really baby back ribs, but the best baby back ribs are so good that I have to just stick to my favorite food. It's buffalo wings.
Oh, you
Buffalo
jerk.
wings.
Damn it. All right, well,
Wow.
wings is moving
Wings
on.
That was a roller coaster.
Barbecue ribs.
I thought I was going to be 4 against 1 on that one.
Wow.
I did too.
Yeah.
I
That
did
hurts.
too.
All right, guys. Well, please sign up for our Patreon because if you do, you're going to get to hear the 4th and final set of the Great 8, figuring out who's going to the Fast 4, who were faster than everyone else, which is why they made it that far.
Fast Four.
Fast 4.
Because they're faster,
That's
obviously.
why, obviously.
Yes.
So,
when I think of food, I think of them being fast.
Yeah, and not like to be confused with fasting, which is like not eating food.
The
It was a
opposite.
weird. The committee had to talk about it, but
Yeah.
we're just trying to avoid copyright infringements as much.
I wasn't there for
Formal
that.
4.
That was considered.
See,
but
I
we were
wasn't
like,
there for
who's
that
wearing a
committee
suit?
meeting. Can I throw in a late contender? The Fat 4.
The Fat 4.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Just
That's
saying,
pretty
we just
good.
cross out the S and fast. I know all the documentation, all the
that would
shirts
be
have been
yeah.
made.
The branding
Cross
is.
out one
All
letter.
right, all right. Well,
Our
we'll-
marketing team is pulling their hair out
Let
right
me
now.
take that
Four.
back. Let me take that one back to the team. It's true. We have already spent most of our marketing budget this year.
Right.
But Q4 could change. So until then, that's what's on the menu.
Yeah. Great job, Matt.
Thank you.
Greedy job. All right, and now It's time. Caelan, are you ready?
Let's do it.
Let's flick some bead.
We all want to know one thing. Your opinion's what we need. So Caelan, get on that mic and flick the bean. Oh, Caelan, flick the bean. Respect all women.
All right.
All
So,
right.
as previously mentioned, this week I'm reviewing Dracula.
Ooh.
This was based off a recommendation from Dawson.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. I generally, whenever someone recommends something, I'll give it a shot. And Dawson said that this was pretty all right, so I figured I had to give it a try.
Well, we all know what pretty all right
IPA.
really means.
Pretty high standard.
It premiered on BBC in January. That's like the English channel. And I really could honestly care less for Dracula, just the character. I really don't care for the character at all. Dawson actually recommended it, and I kind of went like, oh, God, I kind of have to give this a try now. And then I saw that it was created by two guys named Mark Gatiss and Stephen Moffat, who I love. They did all the best episodes of the Doctor Who when it rebooted, as well as Sherlock with Benedict Cumberbatch and Martin Freeman. And Mark Gatiss you would recognize as the head of the Iron Bank in Game of Thrones.
Okay.
You know him?
Oh.
Yeah.
He has to play Sherlock's brother, and he's in that Tom Hardy show Taboo that I love. That I wish they would make a second season of.
That's interesting. I wouldn't be into Dracula either. It's just
No.
it's
Yeah.
been told too many times. It's just he's the
I was
king
saying,
of all vampires.
yeah, he's to the monster world what Superman is to like the superhero world.
Yeah.
Like, do we need another Superman movie? We know the story. What
Yeah.
are we doing here?
That's
what
exactly right.
That's what I felt about this Dracula series as well.
Yeah, I was not very excited for it until I saw those two guys made it. Then I did get excited for it. It's only 3 episodes, but each one is about an hour and a half.
I like that.
So
Yeah.
each episode is like its own kind of mini movie almost. It stars Calais Bang
Like that.
and
Pretty
Dolly
dope name.
Wells, who are two people that I've never really seen in anything, although I thought for sure I had seen them in something.
Calais Bang. That
Calais
is an
Bang,
awesome
yeah.
name.
He was in The Affair, so that's the one.
Yeah, he was.
That's the one.
I heard his last name, sir.
So it begins in like 1897 Transylvania, and there's like a lawyer that goes to Count Dracula's castle and gets him to sign this paperwork that he apparently purchased like property in England. So that's kind of the setup to the whole show.
Matt's a real estate movie.
Lawyer, such bloodsuckers.
I know where this is going.
Yeah, Matt knows it.
And it is sitting at a 72% with the critics and a 56% audience on Rotten Tomatoes.
That's
Not
Dangerous.
great. Not great.
Not great. Not great.
This was like like I said, didn't care what.
All right, go ahead. That was perfect. Keep going.
No, this is a super refreshing take on Dracula. It maintains all the kind of, like lore surrounding the character, but it does it in a really interesting and fun way, especially as the show progresses. It's super dark and sometimes really scary, sometimes really creepy. And there's like 1 or 2 images from the show that like I still can't get out of my head. Really, really gross. Chris, I don't think you could watch this one, unfortunately. This one's not for you.
I
Good
already
thing
know
you
the
read
story.
the Wikipedia.
Yep.
I
yep.
know 'em. Will I ask this? Will this spoil it if I ask this? Are vampires already known within this universe, or is this just a guy coming up
they
not
exist.
knowing what vampires
Well,
are?
I mean, it is known to some people, yes. Yeah, and Dracula is like the king of the vampires, essentially.
Yeah.
The 3 episodes is great because each one is kind of like its own story. They're definitely continuing off the last, but they do it in a way that each one has like its own theme and it's completely different from the last one, which is really nice. But you still have that thing in the back of your head that it's just Dracula, so it's still there's some when he's like eating people's necks, it feels kind of lame.
Would it have serviced the story better if they just made up a new vampire character that did all of this stuff?
No,
but
I think they did this really well. I think it just suffers from the fact that
It's
It's
Dracula.
Dracula. But I really think that they did the best they could with it, and they did a very good job with it. And I have no idea why the audience didn't like this so much.
Oh.
I will say it did end quite abruptly.
Yeah.
I wasn't as big a fan of the third act as I was the other two. But it's still done really well, and especially for how like gruesome and dark it is. Definitely flickable. 8.1 out of 10.
All right.
I recommend it.
And that was Licking the Bean.
Now, with vampire movies, I thought I was getting sick of them. There was that point where we were just everything was vampire. You had True Blood coming out, you had all the Twilight series coming out, and it was just overkill. But then when Dracula told me to watch Dracula, which I read the wiki, I was reading it and I thought, this is kind of fun. And I know a lot of the rules of vampires now. You have to be invited inside. Obviously, they drink your blood. They feed off of you. They avoid sunlight, garlic crosses. I mean, there's all this different lore, and it's always tough to watch something new where they have to explain it again. But when I was reading,
They do it very well.
they do it well.
They do it
okay,
very well.
because I find that would take me out of it. And like, oh well,
Yeah,
you
no,
have to
there's
kill him with
even
a stake
some-
through the heart.
Yeah, no, there's some twists and turns even in the lore. So, like I said,
Okay, so they keep you guessing.
yeah,
Same
they
thing
keep
with
it
zombie
fresh.
movies. Are you guys over any of those genres? Zombies, vampires, or are you guys still on board?
I mean,
I'd love another good zombie movie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sure.
The Walking Dead has tainted me at this point. That I want to see another like Dawn of the Dead style.
Fast zombies.
Yeah,
Hey, I got something
I
for
could
you.
use another one of those.
I got
but like a
something for
good, a little high production, not one of those.
You're gonna have to wait a little bit. The Last of Us.
That's gonna be a
I'm
movie.
more excited for that than anything
HBO
else in my life.
series.
cool.
Wow.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
A zombie series from HBO.
It's
Yeah,
it would be like if COVID turned people into zombies. It's like an infectious, like turns humans into, I don't know if you call them zombies, but
Something.
highly infected.
Undead.
You
but
got to
doomed.
kill these people, or you're
Incurable.
they touch
That's
you.
pretty
and you're
sweet.
fucked.
When is this coming out?
It's probably.
I don't
I
think
mean,
it's even been cast yet.
I think it's getting. I think they are casting it, but who knows when anything's coming out given our current.
And I don't know.
2025.
Yeah.
I don't know if you just
Spermatophore
said
Grace.
this, but it's by the same people that did Chernobyl.
Oh yeah.
So
I did not say that.
that-
That's
Oh, I
correct.
probably
it's
can't
very
watch
promising.
that then.
No, you're not gonna be able to watch this, but
But the thing that
if
worries
it's
me
a
is
zombie,
gonna
if it's
give
a
you
zombie
nightmares.
movie, you still can't watch someone get their finger bitten off.
I can't.
Yeah,
I can't
You're
watch
not
that.
gonna be able to watch this.
We were watching Dante's Peak last night, and I was just dreading the scene
Great movie.
where
Where Pierce Brosnan gets his finger
arm
bitten
broken.
off.
No,
By a
he breaks
vampire.
his arm. But yeah, I was just dreading that scene the entire time. The only issue is, which I guess it really isn't an issue anymore. Any movie or really series based off a video game never really,
Usually it doesn't work. But
Yeah,
I'm
never worked.
cautiously optimistic.
because
Mortal Kombat was fun.
it was fun, but it wasn't good. Like it
That's
wasn't
just the same thing I said to you
cinematic.
before.
What's called
This
The
isn't a
Last of
movie.
Us.
This isn't a movie though. And it is
Exactly, it's a
true.
series.
Yes, it is called The Last of Us, and this
I read the wiki of the story for The Last of Us, and it's really good. And I
Wait,
watched.
you read The Last of Us 2.
I read The Last of Us
Right.
too, and I watched Caelan play it, and I could watch him play for hours. It was like watching a movie.
beautiful. But see, here's the other thing that makes me optimistic, Chris, is that as time has gone on, video games have become much more like movies. The story, like the way they cast it with actors and stuff like that, they become much more like Max Payne. Remember when that was a movie with Mark Wahlberg?
Yeah.
And it was all based on the fact that like we can slow down time, and then there's bullets, and you can move the camera around. It's like, all right, cool. That game had a very mediocre story, so you're basing it off of that. Assassin's Creed, same problem. But as these, The Last of Us has an excellent story, so
Yeah.
I'm cautiously optimistic.
Yeah, I agree. They really have started to put in a lot of thought into plot.
I think it's time we made Super Mario Brothers the series.
Yeah, or do something, because that movie did not do it justice.
No.
That movie was
And
bad.
as a big of a Mario fan growing up, and then watching that movie, I remember just thinking, what was that?
Yeah.
It's
Although I still wanted to
gross,
see the
it's dark.
sequel because
Oh, yeah.
they ended it with a cliffhanger.
And the Goomba, really? The Goomba's that big?
That movie seemed like it was made by somebody who had never played Super Mario.
There's a amazing behind the scenes story about the movie that I couldn't even begin to get into, but if you look up and read articles about the making of the movie, it's essentially that. It's made by people who didn't know what the hell they were doing.
Yeah.
But I do love John Leguizamo.
Sure.
I'll watch
Super
anything
cool.
he's in. All right, I think that'll do it for today's episode. Great job again, Caelan and Matt. Thank you very
Thanks.
much, you guys, and Gary for the tech talk.
Thank you, Aaron, for the question.
Yeah, let's get our plugs in, and we'll start behind the glass there. Caelan, where can we go for you?
Oh, don't worry about me.
You live nothing. You produce for crying out loud.
Oh.
You.
Yeah, thanks for mentioning.
All right, Gary, where can we go for you?
All right, as I got two brief plugs. As we just talked about, I absolutely will advocate for The Last of Us Part 1 and 2. If you have a PlayStation and you're looking for a game, those are great ones. Also, check my social media out. I am in the process of establishing a YouTube channel for Reasonable Doubt so that they can have their own YouTube. And I need a few more subscribers so that I can get such a sweet URL, not unlike patreon.com/watercooler.
Nice.
So if you'll help me out, I need to get a few more subscribers. I've been tweeting about it quite a bit. So just click on that link and subscribe to the new Reasonable Doubt YouTube channel. Thank you.
And you won't regret it because those shows are very good, and Gary releases them right after they record them. They're so topical.
Yeah.
So if you want a lawyer's thoughts on anything like that's going on, lawyer's thoughts, excuse me, on anything that's going on with the law and just everything from politics, entertainment, all that.
And God forbid we have to record 2 days before we release, like sometimes when Adam is traveling to Houston or whatever. Mark is maniacal about making sure that he gets on the blower with me at about 6 p.m. the night before we release and giving an update. So
This one coming up this week, too. I think you teased last week, and I'm still looking forward to it.
Yeah. That is since the tease that I gave about the gentleman who killed the judge's husband and the other men's right activist in California who died. That has since been a confirmed link that Mark called out about 10 days in advance.
Yeah,
so don't miss
crazy.
this next episode. It's gonna be wild.
He has insider info, breaking news all the time.
And if that's not enough, the current episode, Alan Dershowitz. All right, go ahead.
Right, Matt, where can you go for you?
You can follow me on Twitter at Matt Fondiler.
All right.
Yeah.
Absolutely do that. Yes, follow Matt. He composes the best tweets. Dawson.
Yeah. What's up? You can follow me on Twitter at Dos Angeles. And just be a nice person, please.
Fine. I agree. And Dawson's wearing a Robert Cray shirt.
And listen to some Robert Cray. Check out the song called Right Next Door
There you go.
by Robert Cray. It's a great one. It's
Doss,
about
real quick.
about a cheating lady.
Mona D still doing good?
She's hanging, yeah.
Good.
Dawson.
Thanks for your prayers, everybody.
Yes.
I appreciate it.
Dawson has been flooding my feed, or at least his face is, because people keep buying his T-shirt.
Yeah, I love that.
The onesies
Thank
are
you,
going
thank you,
wild.
everybody. Your guys' are on the way.
Yeah, Dawson's shirt is just taking the world by storm, and it's a picture of his face. How could you not want that? So, follow Dawson at Los Angeles and find out how to get that shirt. As for me, I would say, I'll plug Shek's podcast. He has a new podcast that he launched with Cousin Sal called Extra Points. It's very good. I love Shek, and they talk sports news. Kim was just on the episode. The first one debuted today as we record this.
Nice.
Huh? What?
Nothing.
Sorry, he's on the next episode. Excuse me. Right? Is that what you're saying?
He's on the current episode. Yeah, the first one.
That's this one.
Yeah.
Oh, then why what were you saying?
Nothing.
Well, that's fun and uncomfortable.
Okay.
Wow.
I don't. Okay.
You could freeze a turkey with the way these guys are looking at each other.
I don't know. I really just. I'm confused.
In fact, the science backs that.
Well, anyways, check out Extra Points with Shek. That was my plug. Thanks for listening. We'll see you later. Bye.